Hey guys, so today we're going to talk a bit about right to repair and trying to get my head around this and make this fairly short but not too long and not too empty of a video. So I want to help with right to repair and I've already donated to this GoFundMe, links in the description below, to help with passing a bill to help make it a lot more consumer friendly world out there. And yeah, so first up, the right to repair, what does that mean? Well, for someone who doesn't understand or maybe hasn't, you know, learned about it or heard about this thing before, maybe just stumbled upon this, right to repair is say, I want to fix my phone and it needs a new battery or it needs a new camera. I should be able to go, to a supplier or a distributor of that said part and go and buy it. So say I want to get myself a brand new battery for my phone because it's no longer holding the same charge that it used to. Maybe it's just not running for as long. Maybe halfway through the day it needs to be charged and it's starting to drop off in performance with the battery. I should be able to go to a manufacturer of batteries and go, hey, I need a battery for this, device with these dimensions and size. And it needs to have this running voltage and this operating capacity, run for this long and all that. And normally with most companies, they'll probably be able to manufacture a few hundred of these things. Obviously, for someone manufacturing one battery, but if the devices were standardized, the parts would be a lot more easier. Honestly, what they do, the companies these days, they'll try and stop you from the manufacturers from selling the parts separately because they don't want people to buy just a part that costs $5 compared to the phone costing like $20 or $30 for a cheap phone. So, how do we help with this problem? Obviously, I've got the link below to check out. If you don't have any money to spare, just share the link out, and that'll help, direct it to people that may have an extra bit of money to spare. Honestly, I just threw $5, and there've been people that have been donating on this GoFundMe for over. There's people that have donated like over $200,000 worth of cash to this, or something crazy amounts of money, and it needs to get to around like something like $1 million or so, like more than that, to be able to afford this. And it's starting to get there. And it's only been launched a few days ago, and it's already chugging along at a good speed with that. So that is something that I want people to try and help with if they can. You don't have to donate if you don't want to or you can't afford to, but you can help by sharing it to other places on the internet. Wherever you can try and get maybe a bit more attention to this. You don't have to just share this video. Better idea is to share and explain to people, hey, I think this would be something we should look into more often, not. Yes, this is in the US, but it will help, a cascade effect with other countries going, hey, we shouldn't allow, company A to be able to, make these products that aren't fixable and are very unenvironmentally friendly, to be honest, if you think about it. Comparably, say the battery in the device is broken, you should be able to take that out and fix it and replace it instead of throwing the entire thing into a e-waste pile. That's not really that environmentally friendly, obviously. You can take that battery and put it into recycling, into the right type of battery recycling and all that. And honestly, that's why I'm always for repairing. Is not only does it save you money, but it also saves the environment in the long run. So it's like how I repurpose old devices, like say take a fan from an old computer that's no longer working and attach it to a USB lead so I can able to use it as a fan to plug into a power bank on a hot day. And honestly, that's one purpose of recycling and upcycling and all that. But making things right, to be able to fix something all out together instead of just stripping it down for parts is even more better, because now I can able to go oh, this device's battery is no longer working. I can take that battery out and then put a new one in. Or that camera in that device is no longer working. I can go and buy a new camera, for that device. That's the reasons what right to repair bills are for, is to make it more consumer friendly for everyone. It'll also be a lot more better for the environment in the long run. You're not, throwing all this e-waste just everywhere and having to get it, shipped back to wherever and broken down. And obviously, it's a lot less, of a hassle if people can able to just fix just that tiny little part. Just say that big, instead of something size of your hand having to go in the dump. It's the same problem with printers having proprietary cartridges that have been around for so long and all that. They should not be able to, just go, oh, this cartridge is $40 when the machine only costs, something ridiculously less. And obviously the printers that are becoming more, consumer friendly, where I can just go and buy, a big container of ink, a big jug, and just pour it into the receptacle, and it makes it a lot more usable for, oh, it's out of ink, pour, done, filled, and I can continue printing. With a printer like the one I got over in the back here, you'd have to buy a cartridge for it, or you'd have to do a very cheeky thing and buy what essentially is known as a refill kit and refill the cartridge, which is very difficult but doable. I've almost been tempted to buy one of these kits to be able to repair, well, not so much repair, but refill the cartridge. And the cartridges, when you refill them and get them working again, you save a lot of money. You don't have to buy a $50 cartridge of ink, which only lasts a very, 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 very short time, and all that. So it's things like that that I really do want people to be more aware of and make things more fixable. There are companies out there that are making devices more open source. There are laptops that are becoming more fixable, and I honestly applaud any company that does that, that make their devices fixable, where I can go, oh, the screen's broken. I can go request, I need a new screen. And they can obviously then ship the screen to me. And they'll have, all the schematics and everything, and go, here's how to plug it in and how to, properly make sure it's connected so that it works properly. That kind of thing. That is what you call pro-consumer. So, summing it up with that, I really do think that there needs to be a big change with companies making things a lot more fixable. And obviously, boycotting them doesn't seem to really do that much because they're just $1 million company at the end of the day. Obviously, I want to see more people getting into trying to fix things and make things more fixable for the average Joe who's, they're just getting home. They don't have a lot of time to do stuff. It should be something that should be also commonly thought of is, say a device is broken, there should be, someone nearby in your town that can be able to just go, oh, order the part in and they can fix it for you. But most of these people can't do that if the device's parts aren't available, because the company goes out of their way to make it impossible to find those parts. Yeah, so that's why. So I really do want to also see a lot more open source things in the future myself. Say, for instance, phones. So obviously Raspberry Pi boards, kind of what they are. They're a single board computer designed to run basic computing stuff. They've been around for a while. There's been so many different types of them. There's also things like Latte Panda and a few other boards that are kind of open source boards. And they do various things. You can do all kinds of little projects with them. There's all kinds of little boards similar like Arduinos, but they are more or less controller boards designed to run small programs. They're not really computer boards of their own, but they do things similar to them. But what I want to see is a smartphone style board. So for it to be classed as a smartphone board, it would first need its own, broadband chip, which means that it has the ability for you to take a SIM card, put it into the device, and I'd be able to plug this into a power supply and a screen and use it as a phone. I'd also be able to use this device to be able to connect to, be able to make a phone call. So be able to, have a phone's, speaker and microphone, but also maybe a camera mounted in the back or the front, wherever you choose to mount one in the front or not. So essentially, you can customize your own device. That is something I really do wish Raspberry Pi maybe getting more into, is building an open source phone. I have seen someone make a phone from one, but it was very hard to set up because it was so, it was not really that much optimized. You had to find a really special little tiny board that was, I can't even remember the name of it. And it would be a lot more better if there was a board with that inbuilt onto it. But yeah, I could be able to go, oh, I want this size battery, this massive capacity battery, so I can able to run that phone for days without having to charge it. Or maybe I want a more faster, a more different to program on this I can able to run instead of some sort of OS that would be like a Pi OS mobile. It would have its own, it would have its own, go, oh, I want to use something like maybe a Linux-based software, or maybe I want to use something like Android or something like that, then I could. So this sort of thing I want to see a little bit more of in the future. A little bit more open source, or a little bit more I can able to do whatever with that board and it, the manufacturer, as long as they get the money for it, then they're okay. That's something I really wish to see more of. So, sorry this video's gone on for so long, but I just thought I'd try and do this video as fairly much explaining all the stuff I've been thinking of in my head. And I hope this video kind of helped a little bit, and I might not put anything up here, but I'll try and put things down here more than anything. And let me know what you think, because honestly, I really do think if anything's going to help, it's going to try and be physically, getting into the politicians and saying, hey, we need to fix this. And this guy's been into a whole lot of stuff. I'll link his channel also below, and it explains a lot about, problems. I can agree with some of the things he says, but also at the same time disagree with some of the things he says. But honestly, that's life. People are going to always, have different opinions. And honestly, go check him out for yourself. Be nice to him. Just be respectful in comments with anyone. He's been a great creator for making content about repairing things and talks about a lot of stuff. And honestly, he runs his own business, and it's very respectful that he can actually fix devices like that. So, yeah. Go have a good day and check everything out and be nice, and thank you for watching. This has been VulcanX, and see us all around.